Hi everyone, Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm dissecting the Gohan Universe 7 deck profile. So, main thing with Gohan you have to keep in mind is that he uses the board to gain cards, so that's what makes him unique from the other Universe 7 leaders. But otherwise you can work with pretty much anything that comes out for them. So he has the ability of Warrior of Universe 7, so treat all Universe 7s as if they have no specified costs. His auto is a once per turn when you combo with Universe 7 from your battle area, during your turn, draw 2 cards. So you play out cards that you can just use the effect of on placement and then you combo them. And his awakening is the untap 2 energy into Gohan, leader of Universe 7. So he pretty much stays the same on this side. Like his auto is still comboing with Universe 7 from battle area during your turn, draws you 2. And of course he keeps Warrior of Universe 7. But what's different about him now, and makes him worthwhile playing in my opinion, is that he has the opponent of Universe 7 cards in your battle area can combo whilst in rest mode. So if you want to go and assault a little, you can, and then you can just combo what you don't want afterwards. So it works well like multiple Tien, or maybe just like Krillin. So yep, we'll go into the actual deck now. So starting with the extra cards as always, there's 2 copies of Senzu Bean. So Senzu Bean we all know and love. Tapping 1 blue energy during the battle to untap 2 energy and give something 5k. Only run the 2 due to like deck space and availability of them. So, but 2 tends to be a good number because of our leader. We can draw into them very quickly. So next we have 3 copies of Universe 7 representative. So this is essential in any Universe 7 leader deck. It's yellow, but it doesn't have a specified cost. It has the opponent of this counts as Universe 7 in all areas, so in hand it's the Universe 7 like card, which means that anything that calls out Universe 7 you can use it for, or if you need to discard Universe 7, again, this is what this card's for. And it also has the activation of look at top 7 cards from your deck, choose 1 Universe 7 among them, add it to hand and shuffle. So in all honesty, if you want to deck them a little, you could just play 1 to add another 1, then play another 1 to then add something. Otherwise it's just a really essential battle card in these decks, but again something I only run 3 because of deck space, and after like 2 you don't tend to use it because you've also got Gohan drawing you cards when you combo. So they work quite well together. So next we have 4 copies of Whis' Coercion. So this is in here because it's an essential like card for blue, and it's just kind of like the best negate for the deck besides the Master Roshi, but yeah. So of course Whis' Coercion is a counter attack, negate the attack and tap an energy after you stop the attack, so you can just reveal this card, untap the energy using to pay for it, so saves time. And like I said on multiple occasions, it's just a really good blue negate, and negate in general. Finally, for the extra cards, we have the 2 drop at 2 copies, which is Mafuba. So Mafuba just helps us get around nasty battle cards because counter battle card attack, negate the attack, then place this on top of the card. At the end of your opponent's next turn, place this card into the drop. So, and because it's not a targeting effect, it gets around barrier. So even if something with barrier is attacking you, you should be like, cool, Mafuba is allowed because I'm not choosing it, I'm replacing it, technically. One of those weird arguments. So, going into the battle cards now, we have 4 copies of the 1-drop Ready to Fight Son Goku. So this is just our one drop searcher. Obviously you run it at 4 because it helps you like find cards, and it works really well with Gohan because after you've done its effect you can combo it. So of course, like they all tend to do, it's auto when you play this card. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose Universe 7 out of your hand and shuffle. So your bog standard one drop search. Going into the 2 drops now, we have 4 copies of Backbone of Universe 7 Son Goku. So this is our super combo for the deck. It's the only red card in here, same as the Universe 7 reps the only yellow card in here, but we're not too bothered about color costs. So, and this has the auto of when you combo, if your leader is Universe 7 and your life is at 5 or less, draw a card, gain 10k for the combo. So obviously that earlier use of a super combo is always handy, and because there's multiple ways of searching it, it's easy to get hold of. If you play it out, you can gain 3 cards using Gohan's, 3 cards using Gohan's ability. So there's a lot of potential in this deck. And finally in 2 drops we have 2 copies of Unyielding Spirit Trunks. So when you come with this card during your turn, if your lead is blue, choose one of your energy and switch it to active mode. So again, another one we've got 2 because deck space, and we can search out fairly easily with all the draw power potential. So we'll move on to the 3 drops now. So this first one there's 4 copies of, and that is Destructo Disc Krillin. So Krillin's our self-awakening engine, that's why I run him at 4, because you want to see him, and then afterwards he's just a bit fodder to use in your abilities. So also when you play this card, if your leader is Universe 7, choose one card in life out of your hand. If you do so, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which total cost adds up to 3 or less and KO them. So you can hit a lot of small things or just like one fairly large thing. The self-awakening, of course, main reason run him, and then we can go for a 15 attack. If we've awakened from him, we can then combo him. So we're making the most out of him, and yeah, you want him at 4 just so you can self-awaken, because you don't want to rely on your opponent hitting you enough. So next we have 4 copies of Focused Mind Piccolo. So Piccolo is a very useful blocker in this deck, because he's a blocker with barrier, and the permanent skill during your opponent's turn, if you have 4 or more energy, this gains 5000 power, so it becomes 20k blocker. In the deck there's also an easy way to play him out for free. I'll get into that a little later because it's a higher drop card. So it's just a 20k block during your opponent's turn. You'd only really play this out after you've hit 4, or when you've hit 4, just because you want that extra 5k. And a blocker with barrier is always a good combo. So next in the 3 drops we have 4 copies again of Focused Mind Son Gohan.
That's a running theme here.
Yeah, there's a bit of a running theme, lots of 4s. So Son Gohan's kind of essential to this deck. Well, he is essential to this deck, I should say. So he has barrier, and the active main once per turn. Look at the top 7 cards from your deck, choose which one Universe 7 among them. You may play that card by paying its energy cost, then shuffle. So if you can meet its energy cost, you can play it. It doesn't mean evolution, I don't think, but it's still handy just to bring something out on the board that you can use as combo fodder. The fact that it has barrier means that your opponent can't kill it as easily, and it's your base for the evolution, which I'll get into later. So next we have 2 copies of this card, only 2, not 4, that is Infinite Energy Android 18. Both of mine are in reverse, but meh. So Android 18 is a combo calls, I like to name them. So at the end of the battle, after you combo his cards from hand, if you lose Universe 7, play it in rest mode. So obviously it's quite useful with Gohan. It does cost 2 energy when you look at it like this, playing out in rest and then from the Awakened Gohan's ability comboing it again. So you have 2 uses of 10k. I only run 2 because I found in the early stages when I made this deck I ran more. I just never really used it because I didn't want to pay that 1. But 2 is a nice number. There's multiple ways of searching out, and you're only ever going to use it as like combo fodder, so you're not super reliant on it. And finally, in the free drops, we have 3 copies of Red Stripe Piccolo. So first and foremost, he's not Universe 7 because he's from
set 2, I think.
Yeah, set 2, and he's in there because he's blocker, and his auto of at the end of their turn, your opponent must choose cards from their hand until there are only 6 remaining and place them in the drop area. So forcing your opponent to discard at the end of their turn if they're gaining a lot of cards is really useful. And we can play him out easily for free, and if not, he's just a nice bit of green energy / fodder. So it also gives the deck 7 blockers. That's all Piccolo, which is really useful as I go into the 4 drops and show you the 3 copies of fully trained Super Saiyan Son Gohan. So Son Gohan is a 20k double striker, and the main reason we run him is for his auto, which is when you play this card, choose up to 1 Piccolo with an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck and play it, then shuffle the deck. So the only Piccolos we run here are 3 drop blockers, which is really convenient, isn't it? Because funny enough, Gohan can just bring those out for free. So you pay for, get a free blocker, and then you just have a double striker on the field. So that's why I like him in this deck. It means that I can get either 1 to force my opponent to discard if I've seen it adding a lot of cards, or if I just want a really good blocker, I'm like, okay, well, I'll play the Focused Mind because I get the Universe 7 synergy as well. I don't tend to run more than 3 though, because you only ever use 1 or 2. They also tend to go in energy just to give you a bit of green energy for other cards. So, but it's useful to bring up any of your Piccolo blockers. So finally, in the 4 drops, we have 4 copies of Multiform Tien Shinhan. So Tien, it's interesting depending how you want to use it. I admittedly use it as fodder for charging and comboing, but that's partly because of its ability. So has a permanent skill of this card loses 5,000 power for each Tien Shinhan in your battle or combo area. So in total, if you have 3 others, it goes down to a 10. And that's because of its auto ability. So when you place a card, if your leader is Universe 7, you may place 1 card from your hand to drop. If you do so, choose up to 3 Multiform Tien Shinhans from your deck and play them, then shuffle. So the idea with this guy is you pay for, dump a card and swarm 3 more out, which is fine, but my issue with him is losing power. So I just like comboing them. I mean, it works with Gohan as well, because we could just be like, oh, I need 2 more cards. Goodbye, Tien. But otherwise, I'm on the fence about him. So at the moment, he works for the deck. Might get changed out depending on what comes out in the future for Universe 7. So have to relook at that. So moving on to our 5 drop, we have 3 copies of Results Training Son Gohan. So this is kind of like our big gun of the deck, admittedly. Not the... like, it's okay, in my opinion.
It's basically saying it's not the 7 drop for Frieza.
Yeah, it's not the most horrible thing Universe has produced. but it's not the worst, and it can be like it's good for pressure to a sense. So it's 25 attacker. You can evolve it for 4 energy onto a Universe 7 Son Gohan, which is our focused mind at the moment. Permanent. If there are 2 or more Universe 7 in your combo area, this card gains triple strike. So
yes, you can combo with other stuff onto another attack, then he gains triple strike, and then you can swing with triple strike afterwards.
yeah,
Because
so
it activates when there's stuff in the combo area.
as long as you combo 2 Universe 7s, you can gain triple strike. You can work that with your leader as well. So
Oh yeah, you get to draw loads, don't you?
So you could go with the leader, just like, okay, well, I'll throw a little one in, draw 2, throw another one in. This gains triple strike. My leader's hitting for a high number as well, and I've gained back the 2 cards I've just used. So, like, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can swing stuff on your board, then go with this guy and combo them in. Your leader activates, this guy activates, so you're drawing 2 and gain triple strike. His other thing about him is his auto. So when a card evolves into this card, if your universe card, if your leader card is blue, not your universe card is blue. I all get right. So if your leader card is blue, so at the moment, Gohan, choose up to 3 universe 7 with energy cost of 3 or less from your hand and play them. So in my deck, that's a good chunk of it you could play out. You could just play out things like the 1-drop Goku, just to do another search. You could play it with Super Combo if you really wanted. The Focus Mind Piccolos, I like to play just like, cool, I'll have 2 blockers and this random thing. Or you play another Focus Mind Gohan to set up your next one. And then yeah, as we were saying, you just combo, gain triple strike, hit for a high number and triple strike, so you just throw a lot of pressure at your opponent. And finally, we have 2 copies of the 6-drop Inherited World Super Saiyan Son Goku. So he's a 25 drop striker. Also, at the end of the battle, after this card is attacked, place this card in your drop area. Choose up to 1 battle card whose character name includes Son Gohan from your hand and play it. So this is a bit pricey. You only tend to play 1 out, but it just lets you throw Gohan onto the field, and then you can move, like, you can do more with that on board. I'll probably have to tweak the deck a bit actually, but at the moment it's just good to like have a 25 double striker that can then bring out another card to immediately attack afterwards. You could bring out this Gohan still with him. He wouldn't gain the auto, but you can still go for the triple strike pressure, and if you've got 1 out already and then you immediately play a second one, that's 2 triple strikers and a double striker threatening your opponent, which is really useful. So, but anyway, with that all being said and done, that is the Son Gohan deck profile. So as always, do leave your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye.